So, it's no secret the Nottingham Forest have gone a little bit insane this transfer window, signing 21 players. They're doing a Fulham, they're signing too many players. Investigate them for FFP breaches. They're going down, no doubt about it. Well, maybe we had to sign 21 players because we lost pretty much the same amount. So I'm just going to clear that up straight away. But this video is not going to be slating Forest for doing this. It's going to be grading the individual players and just saying whether these are actually good signings. Most of them are, but we're going to actually really dissect this. Now, it's very much worth pointing out that some of these players haven't played yet, and we're basing it purely off what we've seen of them in the past with other clubs. Some of them we've not even really seen play at all. So the likes of Lloyd Bardet, for instance, I don't think many people would have really heard of him. We just know he's meant to be quite a pacey defender. So we've got to kind of sit on the fence with that one a little bit, haven't we? But other than that, I think this should be really interesting. We've got 5 tiers. Star signing, that means that I think you're going to be absolutely integral to the team, and it's also going to be based off how they've performed so far if they have played. Very good is obviously self-explanatory. Decent option, could do better. Why? Now, there's not many in that category, but there are a few that do potentially fall into it. Okay, so let's go in a random order. I'm going to start with one of my favourite signings of the entire window, Lewis O'Brien. I think star signing is undisputed, to be honest. I think he is absolutely fantastic. He runs that midfield. He hardly ever has made a mistake since I've seen him play for us. And apart from the Bournemouth match, he's played in every single game, most minutes. I think he's really gone under the radar with some of the other names that have come in that have been a bit more high profile. I think O'Brien could be one of the most important signings we've made in quite some time. Being as we're on midfielders, let's do another one of the many midfielders we have signed. Oral Mangala. I think some people might say that this should be the midfield partnership if we're going to pick a 2 in midfield, or if we were to switch the formation up and go to 2 centre-halves, put in another midfielder, so maybe Freuler or Yates or someone like that. Those 2 are probably the best options. I think Mangala looked great in just the 2 games he played for us so far, and we need him back fit really soon. Should we just stick with midfielders and just do them all at once? Let's talk about Cheku Kurate. I didn't even mention him in that list. I'm between very good and decent option. I think Kurate, when he came in, I probably thought to myself, literally those words, oh, that'll be a decent option. So maybe I should put him there. But I think based off what he's done so far, it's a bit hard to grade him off the Man City game, and he only played like 10 minutes against Tottenham. But I think it was a shock that he started against Bournemouth, but he actually did really well. Great header. Did some really good stuff in the middle of the pitch. There was one battle he had on the edge of the pitch, actually. I remember he won the ball back really, really well in a very tight situation. And some of you might remember what I mean by that. But I think he has actually been better than people thought he would be. So I kind of want to say very good. But I think maybe let's just keep it decent for now. Now, when I mention players that you'd probably put a lot higher in terms of what we spent on them and the hype they got, but haven't quite hit those levels, I think this is the number one example of that. Jesse Lingard. Based off the hype, it's star signing. No doubt about it. What he's done in his career, it's star signing. But nowhere on earth has he been a star signing so far. I think he's been really invisible and very ineffective. He's had the odd moment here and there, but I think we're kind of picking him because it's Jesse Lingard, not necessarily because he works in the team. And I think in time it will click. I hope it does. I want it to. I'd love nothing more for Jesse Lingard to be a success at Forest. But right now, he has to be in this category. He has to be. Okay, let's put someone in very good. I'm going to go for Harry Toffolo. I think maybe some people might say decent, but I think he's really gone under the radar. And with the signing of Lodi, it's a shame for Harry that he's not really going to get much game time. But I thought he wasn't like outstanding, but I think he's been really good so far. He's done some really good stuff in the games that he's played, and I mean, he played the first 5 matches. Let's cover all categories, shall we? There's only 2 players, possibly 3 players that I would consider putting in. Why? One of them's Hwang. It's dodgy as hell, that signing, because Forest and Olympiacos always going to have connections. He's nearly 30 and we've loaned him out. He hasn't even been pictured in a Forest shirt, and I think that says a lot. The fact that he hasn't even been pictured in a Forest shirt, he kind of came out of the blue. It probably suggests that Olympiacos wanted to sign him, but Forest had all the money, so Marinakis just thought, right, well, we'll just use Forest as a loophole and then we'll sign him at a later date. And this is the thing, like, people are saying it's 21 signings. It's actually 18 because 3 of them have gone out on loan straight away. One of those loanees is Aguilera. I kind of feel like I want to say why, because like I know he's a youngster. He's a completely different kind of player to Hwang. Aguilera's only like 19. You know, when he comes back from his loan, he's over in Costa Rica, I think. He'll probably be straight into the youth team. He won't even be playing football for us. I think Aguilera, I get Ojeda vibes from him. You know, Ojeda didn't really work out. We've loaned him out, obviously. I kind of get Ojeda vibes from Aguilera, to be honest. Okay, I said we'll talk about Freuler soon. Let's talk about him. Based off what he's done in his career, I think star signing. But based off how we've seen him so far, I think that's a bit of a step. So very good. Has to be. You know, he's been a Champions League captain. Played for Atalanta for a number of years. We've been consistently getting top 4, top 5 in Italy for the last several seasons now. He's been a regular for the Swiss national team, was a regular in their run to the Euro quarter-finals last year, which was a real achievement for Switzerland. And, you know, he'll probably be going to the World Cup as well this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does for them. But to have a player of that calibre, and he's not even really been playing. He obviously played against City. But he should have played at the weekend, to be honest, against Bournemouth. Or at the very least, he should have come on. Okay, who next? Let's go for a centre-half. Niakate. Got to be a star signing. Really have missed this guy. And I think, to be honest, both these two here, Mangala and Niakate, if we had Mangala and Niakate in our last 3 games, it might have gone a bit different for all we know. I don't know. I mean, don't think it would have gone different against City, but it probably would have gone different against Bournemouth. Because I think Niakate, what he offers, unlike the back 3 we've been playing against Bournemouth, he offers pace and he offers physicality. And I think all of them are physical, but Niakate is a seriously good player. Okay, another centre-back, Bardet. Now, based off what we know about him, you'd probably say decent option. He's young, he's going to get better, 22 years of age, he's quick. That's really, really encouraging. Particularly his age, because he's only going to get better, isn't he? But based off him as a footballer, I don't know. I've never seen him play, ever. I hadn't even heard of him until this time last week, so I don't even know. Okay, let's talk about another player that's not played for us, and one that is kind of bizarre, Josh Bowler. I kind of want him, I think, in the long haul, unlike Hwang, I think it's a good signing, because, like, if he were to get relegated in particular, I think he would be an excellent signing for us, because he could just come into that team in the Championship and just hit the ground running straight away. And even in the Premier League, going out to Olympiacos, it's obviously a bit dodgy because it's Olympiacos, but if you think about it, he's been at Hull and he's been at Blackpool. No disrespect to those teams, but they're not even close to a European level side, not even a Premier League side. So therefore, it's difficult for him to just come into the Premier League and hit the ground running, and especially as a younger player, he needs to be playing regular football. If we signed him and kept him in the team, he would have replaced Mighton, and we're literally just swapping one problem for another. We've got a young starting player there that isn't getting regular football, so there's no point just swapping a player. And Bowler needs game time, he needs to adapt to a high level of football, and I think it actually makes sense, to be honest. Omar Richards, I forgot he existed, to be honest. He's been injured the entire time we've had him. So I'd probably have to put him in. I mean, he's kind of a bit like Bowler and Bardet, isn't it? You know, Bardet are basing it off purely the small knowledge we have and what they could offer to the team, and it's a case of when they actually do play. It's just been unfortunate that he got injured. Obviously, at Bayern Munich, left back for a season. He was at Reading beforehand, so he knows the English game well. I think, yeah, it will be a good signing, but it's going to be interesting to see whether he actually just get game time when he's fit, because we've got 2 really good left backs in this team now, Toffolo and Lodi. How on earth does Omar Richards get into this team unless there's an injury crisis? We'll talk about Lodi next. I think, at the very least, very good. I think he definitely has potential to be star signing. Atletico Madrid regular Champions League football in abundance. He's been there and done it before. He's played for Brazil, all that good stuff. He's got such a huge profile about him. And I think in what was a really horrific game against Bournemouth, he was one of the better players, and at the very least he was one of the ones that kept constantly running, never giving in. Okay, let's get another one in star signing. Nico Williams. He's kind of been struggling a little bit recently because he's not had Brennan to play the ball to, because Brennan's playing up front, which he shouldn't be. My only criticism really of Nico is he doesn't take on his man that much, but he can cause a lot of problems with his speed and just the way he is as a player. I just think he's such an exciting, fun player to watch. He's brilliant. My only concern is I mean, we haven't even seen Julian Biancon play that much, but is he quite to the level of Williams if Williams was to be out? Forest were already ahead of me on that one. We've officially signed Serge Aurier, who's obviously not on this tier list. I'd probably have to put him in decent option. And speaking of Biancon, I'm probably saying his name wrong, I don't even know how you say it. I think very good. And that's kind of weird because he's not even played that much football. He played against Grimsby the whole game. And he played, obviously, against City for a little bit. And against City, in a tough situation, he looked good. I thought he looked good. And I think he's worth a go. We know. And again, he's only 22. You know, so many young, exciting players have come into this team. And that is just so exciting. Alright, so we've got a few more players left. Willy Bolly. I think it has to be decent. I'm kind of a bit baffled by it in terms of long term. It's not an option. You know, he's 31. He's not going to be around for much longer. So I don't really see it as the most inspiring, exciting, unbelievable signing. So I kind of feel like why, but at the same time, I think he will do the job if we need to play him, and I think he deserves a chance. Emmanuel Dennis, I think he has potential to be star signing, but for now, I will put him in very good because I think he has stood out to me whenever he's played. He needs to be getting into the box more, and I like the fact that he can play as a winger and a striker. Really, really useful. Dino, got to be star signing without a doubt. Absolutely outstanding goalkeeper, instrumental. In so many games this season, he's saved us. 2 penalty saves, incredible, against Spurs and West Ham, against England internationals. Something that I think Hendo deserves and could definitely argue a case for doing himself being an England international. We lose a hero in Brice Samba and we go out and sign Dean Henderson, albeit on loan, but I think there's a good chance he can stay. Now, if we're going to say that Dennis hasn't played enough football to put him in star signing, I probably should say the same about Gibbs White. But Gibbs White, for me, has to be star signing because I think we've seen more of Gibbs White, and there's 100% there have been quite a few flashes of brilliance from him. We still need to see more of him. I think Gibbs White needs to be playing in a more natural position rather than being a striker, which, again, says that we need to be playing an out-and-out striker up front. And I think we will see the best of Gibbs White. You know, I don't think he is a forward. He's someone that plays further back. But I think he's got to be star signing. It's an outstanding bit of business. Now, Wayne Hennessy, it literally screams decent option. I mean, it's not long term, but he'll do the job if we need him. He's been there and done it before. I think decent is about right. Tyrell Warner, the final player, based off the hype and the money we paid for him, star signing, but based off what he's done so far, he's got to be in the Lingard category in my opinion. He looked a bit invisible in pre-season, albeit it was pre-season, but he weren't that good. And he's missed a few too many sitters, to be honest. And I suppose you could say at the same time, the fact that the last 3 games we've not started with strikers, it has hindered Awani. So, you know, that might be a bit harsh on me putting him in could do better because he hasn't actually played much in the last 3 games, and he looked good when he came on against Man City, but when he came on against Bournemouth, he didn't do anything at all apart from miss a sitter at the end, and he's only got 1 goal, and it was quite a scuffy goal as well. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure about Awani. I think he has potential without a shadow of a doubt, but for now, I don't know. Looking at the final tier list, it's quite a mix, really, isn't there? There's only 2 players that I've put in Y, meaning why have we signed them? Both of them have just been loaned out straight away, so that's not actually going to affect us. I kind of want to put Dennis in star signing, you know. Should I put him in star signing? I think for the money we paid for him, and he has looked good. I have liked Dennis, but we just need to see more of him. So you know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to put Dennis in the top tier. So that is my transfer window tier list. It's a bit of a hot topic. It's something I'd be very keen to see what people think of my tier list. And please, by all means, let me in the comments below what you would change. Do your own version, you know? Type it in the comments, or even go on Tier Maker and do it yourself. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all very soon for another video.